Good morning, Rockets. This is Ms. Clarkson coming to you today to talk to you about taking action on your personal project as we move further into the process. At this point, you've met with your supervisor 3 times. If you were absent from school for the last meeting, you do need to make sure that you reschedule with your supervisor. You can do so this week or next. So you should have discussed what your plans were. You should have narrowed down your goal and had a clear idea of what it is that you want to do. Today, you'll be taking action on the required reflections and checkpoints that are important parts of the process. It's important to remember that in the personal project, your learning process is much more important than the product or outcome that you ultimately create. In order to see that process, though, we need you to show your work. What this means is that you need to have evidence of your process, evidence of your use of approaches to learning skills, and evidence of your thinking and reflection along the way. Because much of the work is done independently, your supervisor needs to be able to see it using the process records that you keep and the required assignments on My MCPS Classroom. In order to show your process, you need to have a way to keep track of the ongoing records of your work. This might look like a variety of formats. If you're doing an artistic project, it may be a sketchbook. If you're doing a technical product, it may be data sheets or a record of code and what you created. If you're doing a goal-oriented product, it may be data that you're collecting along the way, or video evidence that you're learning a particular skill. All students' process journals look different, but 2 components, the evidence of ATL skills and the reflections, are the same for everybody. Those are the parts that you submit on My MCPS Classroom. The checkpoint assignments in your handbook should also be submitted on My MCPS Classroom or completed in hard copy and shown to your supervisor. Either way is fine, but you do need to make sure that you do those assignments. You also have short reflection paragraphs based on the same questions that you've covered with your supervisor. Those are to be submitted on My MCPS Classroom. Today, during RocketTime, you should make sure that you've completed reflections 1 and 2. You should also make sure that you complete checkpoints 1 and 2, which include your revised goal and your 3 source evaluations. You also need to log in to ManageBack and fill in your first 3 meetings in the academic honesty area. You should follow the instructions that were given to you in October, which are available from the videos on the Personal Project website. By December 10th, you need to have completed the 3rd reflection and 3rd checkpoint, both of which will be posted on My MCPS Classroom. On December 13th, you'll meet with your supervisor one more time to discuss the plans to have your final goal met by the beginning of January. If you need to change, modify, or narrow your goal, now is the time to do it. If you thought you were going to be able to run a marathon and it looks like you're only going to be able to run a 5K, you need to assess what's realistic in terms of your goal. But do not give up. Just because it looks like meeting your original goal might be difficult, there's no reason to stop. Please discuss your plans with your supervisor and complete the assigned reflections on ManageBack so that you have ManageBack in on My MCPS Classroom so that you have evidence of the work that you've done along the way. As always, you can stop by the IB office and ask Ms. Clarkson if you have any questions. But for now, you need to grab a Chromebook, log into your My MCPS Classroom, and complete the required assignments. We'll see you later in RocketTime, and good luck today.